Hey guys, we're about to get started with another episode two of Undeniably Sports Talk with Harold White coming to you. Harold, you ready? Are you live, sir? Okay, great. Hold on. That's me. Okay. All right. Who are you again, sir?
Harold White from Los Angeles, California, via Decorah, California. And I'm for those who are attempting to get on YouTube. Again, the
Channel is Mo Rock
channel
Entertainment.
is Mo Rock Entertainment. Mo M-O Rock ROC, capital M, capital R.
They don't need to capitalize the R.
They don't.
It can be. It's either way.
You gotta have a space in between entertainment though, in order for you to get on there. So I think that's what happens. But anyway, I'm live on Facebook. So we're about to go on live now on YouTube.
You're actually live now.
Oh, okay, good.
So what's going on, man? What's been going on with you?
A lot is going on in the sports world. Since last I was here, things have happened in the basketball world.
Yeah.
I think a few teams have been eliminated.
A lot of teams have been eliminated.
The teams that are in question are the Los Angeles Lakers. They are no longer playing.
I like how you mentioned them first.
Well, I mean, that's most people, we're on the West Coast too. Most people are concerned about the Los Angeles Lakers. They're not playing. Neither are the Los Angeles Clippers.
Neither are the Warriors. Are we going California? We just talking about Los Angeles.
Well, the Warriors didn't make it.
No, they didn't make it at all.
The Clippers and the Lakers made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they've been eliminated. And a few other teams, New Orleans Pelicans, Philadelphia 76ers, a few teams have been eliminated, and now it's down to the final 8, which means that we're down to the final 4 in each conference, Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. And there's a lot of expectations for a lot of these teams, mainly in the East. Mainly in the West, because you got such of a young flavor. You got the young Minnesota Timberwolves, and you got the young Oklahoma. What's Oklahoma's teams? Oklahoma. They're young too. They're very young, and you got a lot of expectations for both teams. So it's going to be interesting. And then, of course, you got Denver, who are the defending champs.
Mm-hmm.
And they played 2 games against Minnesota, and they've lost both of them. And it's been a battle on for both of them. But Minnesota's come out. They got a new superstar. His name is Anthony Edwards. He's a bad boy. And a lot of people would tend to lean toward the fact that he just might be the next Michael Jordan.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Where is he from? What college? What college?
That's a good question. I forget what college he's from. That's a very good question. I should have known that.
It's okay. We got the Google machine to help us out.
But he's a very good basketball player. And some people are trying to do the comparisons. And I'm not one of them because he's good. He's very good. I'd like to have him on my team.
Okay. You're absolutely right. I'm looking him up now. But yeah, he's pretty good. I've seen him play before.
Yeah. But anyway, he's the driving force behind Minnesota. And Oklahoma's got a very, very good team, a young team.
Okay.
And so it looks like that they're on a collision course to meet each other in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
They're in the semis now, and the next would be the finals. Of course, though, Oklahoma has to get past Dallas. Dallas lost the first game. I expect them to do better the next game. I expect them to do better in the whole series, period. But it remains to be seen. Over on the eastern side, you got the Knicks playing the Indiana Pacers.
It's 49 and 43 right now.
That game?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 49-40. Who's favorite?
Pacers.
Oh, okay. So they're going to make a game out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Knicks won the first game.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very volatile game in as much as they were a lot of anger aimed toward the referees because they made some terrible calls. But referees make terrible calls all the time.
Okay.
But this kind of led to what team was going to win and what team was not going to win. So a lot of people come into the arena when they play the New York Knicks saying that you're playing 5 against 8, meaning you got 5 players on your team and you got 5 on the other, plus the 3 referees, because you're playing in New York.
Okay.
New York is the most hallowed facility in the United States of America, and if you win there, I don't know why it's so hallowed.
Because it's of its history. Because of Patrick Ewing and before them days, it's got a history. It's historic, like the Forum was for the Lakers.
Yeah,
but
I would have liked to see the Lakers stay at the Forum. I would have really, really liked that, because I think the Forum would have took on a more of a personality than the Garden has taken.
Okay.
Because it had the Forum had way more
historic things
jump off.
Even when you're talking about music talent and entertainment that's come there and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, I do understand.
But the Knicks, I went to New York. I've been in there one time.
Okay.
And the main reason I wanted to go to New York was to go to Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
So I understand, how it is historical the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
because they have other events there as well.
They
do.
They do. But the main thing is the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
They play there, and and the Rangers have kept the
momentum.
Yeah. They're in the playoffs now. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a hockey fan, but I know they're in the playoffs because that's all you see on SportsCenter.
Right.
The hockey.
No, I came from a hockey. I came from a hockey city.
From a hockey city, yeah.
The Blues, So no, I completely understand that, man. So Jokic won the MVP for the 3rd time.
Good. He actually should have won it last year.
That's what I thought. Who won last year?
Joel Embiid.
Okay.
From the Philadelphia 76ers.
So he stood out that much.
Yeah. But what it basically is seems like, I don't know this for a fact, seems like the NBA likes to spread the NBA Most Valuable Player award around. They like to spread it. This guy, if he's having a fabulous year, they like to spread it around.
So does it make it more?
NBA had just as good a year last year as he did
this year.
Actually, to be very honest with you,
okay.
He had a better year last year than he had this year. And he didn't win last year. So,
in your opinion, so you're saying that him and Joker were like the best players in the league?
Yeah, statistically wise, yes.
Okay, so
rebounds, points, defense. Joker's not a very good defensive player, but he makes up with it with his offense.
He plays.
Yeah, he plays with his offense.
He's not the thing I like about Joker, which can maybe frustrate a lot of other basketball fans, is that he's not pretty.
No, he does dirty work.
He's not fancy with it.
No.
The bottom line is to make the shots and do it by any means
necessary. Get your team involved.
Right. So he's not pretty, he's not fancy, but he got stats.
He got stats.
He got stats.
Yeah.
When he did, man, I'm gonna tell you, and you know me, I'm a Laker fan. But when I saw the playoffs, when Lakers and the Nuggets was going at it, I had to give them their props.
Yeah.
I had to give Joker his props. I had to give Mary his props. The other guy, what's the junior? What's his name? For Denver. Man, I can't think of his name. Some junior.
Murphy?
No, not
Murray. Not Murray.
I can't think of his name, man. But he's a real defensive.
Caldwell.
Yeah, you go. Caldwell.
Okay, Caldwell Pope. Ex-Laker.
Yeah, ex-Laker. So they got a nice little squad, and I think that more than likely, man, you know, because I was pulling for, like, if the Lakers want to go, I was thinking about Boston. You know, I was wanting Boston because my homeboy Jason Tatum, you know, so you know, I was.
Boston looks good.
Yeah.
They lost a big component last game.
Mm-hmm.
Porzingis.
Okay.
He's a 7-footer, and he's a very good option on that team. He's 7 feet.
Did he get hurt or something?
Yeah.
And
it could be. It could be.
That might be curtains for them.
They're gonna need
a big man.
Forward. Yeah,
they're gonna need a big man because Jason can't do it by himself.
No.
He can't do it, especially going against. I could never see him going against. Did they play Oklahoma already?
No, they're in a different.
Yeah. They are. So we touched on a little bit last week, man, about Caitlin Clark. You know, about her. You know, going to the WNBA and everything. She's changed. Do you think, again, I want to keep on touching on this because she's still a main focal point as far as women's sports, actually for all the sports, because she's kind of breaking barriers.
Yeah.
Because the WNBA has not gotten a lot of coverage. It's gotten ample. Even the Las Vegas team gets coverage because they've won the championships like back to back. But she's like what do they call her? She's like
she's a very good. She's a talented basketball.
You cannot, because once I hear people talk about a player, I'm like, oh, what's this? Yeah, you know, I come with that. Right. You know, prove to me that you are really good, and she proved it, and she's awesome.
She is. She's a very.
Do I think that she's the best player in the league? I wouldn't say that. I think she's up there.
Yeah, well, she just got there.
She's you know, but all focus is on her. She's going to drive up ticket sales, and this is what I say to everybody who's shouting out equality and everything. You know, you have to think about how long the NBA has been in existence versus the WNBA. You know, and I think that the NBA don't they somehow financially support?
They do.
So you got to take all of that in consideration, and plus people coming to the games. You know, not the membership, but what do you call it when people come to the games? Just filling up the stadium,
filling upstairs, putting butts in the seats.
Butts in the seats, and hopefully for WNBA, this does now.
Well, this is definitely going to put butts in the seats because Caitlin is a talented.
Now, can Caitlin dunk?
No, she can't dunk, but she can shoot though.
Are there other players in the WNBA that can dunk?
You got a few. You got the girl that was held captive in.
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner. She's 6'8". She dunks when she gets ready. There's a few. Candace Parker, who just retired.
Candace Parker.
She was the second woman to dunk in the WNBA. The first woman was Lisa Leslie.
They were on
the same team at that time.
Yeah.
But
did they play for the? They didn't play for the Sparks. Were they playing for the Sparks?
They both played for the Sparks.
Okay, got you.
They both played for the Sparks. But no, Caitlin can't dunk, but she can shoot. If I can coin a phrase here, she's got the Steph Curry effect.
So she makes about what 98% of her shots.
No, not nowhere close.
Well, I'm talking about Steph Curry. What Steph Curry makes at least about 90%.
No.
Oh, he doesn't even
not of his threes. If you shoot,
not of his threes, but just shooting.
If you shoot and you make 35% from the 3-point line,
yeah,
that's very good.
Okay,
you're like really good. If you shoot anything over that,
you're phenomenal.
You're a bad
You're a
man.
freak.
Okay.
Well, that's how Steph Curry is.
Steph is like around 40, 41%.
That's pretty
It's
good.
a few of them that's in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Dame Lillard, they're in that 40%.
They just can't miss.
No, they just, the measure for a NBA ball player when you're great like that is if you can shoot 50% from the field, meaning layups, dunks, all that stuff, mid-range game, and the three. If you could shoot 50% and you could shoot 40% from the 3-point line, and you can shoot 90% from the free throw line, you're a great ball player. There's only one or two or three maybe.
So
guys.
Steph is, would you say Steph
does that?
He's number one. He's probably the number one.
Larry Bird was
No, I'm talking about playing right now.
Steph's number one.
Okay.
Yeah, he does 50, 40, 90 most of the time.
Yeah, I'm amazed.
Yeah, he does.
I'm amazed when I look at him.
Larry did it 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that was where the measure came right there. When Larry shot 50% from the field, 40% from the free throw, 40% from the 3-point line, and 90% from the free throw line.
Okay.
That's the measure of outstanding basketball player.
Okay. Something else I want to talk about. We were talking about the Lakers earlier. Something major happened last week. Something major happened.
The coach got fired.
They fired Darvin Ham.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that a little bit?
I had mixed emotions. I wasn't a Darvin fan, a Darvin Ham's fan.
But he's only been with them for 2 seasons, right?
Exactly. But the NBA is a players' league. If you don't produce, and whoever's at the head of the production, they go, and that's usually the coach. So that's exactly what happened. Now, the positive for Darvin is that he was there 2 years. He went to the Western Conference Finals 1 year, and he went to the playoffs 1 year, and he had the misfortune of having to go up against the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
So that kind of derailed his process as far as
his employment.
Exactly. It derailed.
I don't know, man. Let me tell you, bro. 2 years, and he went to the playoffs both years.
He did.
I know other coaches who don't go to the playoffs in 2 years, and they still got their job. What's going on? You know what I think? I think LeBron and Anthony Davis didn't want him no more. Well, I think at the end of the day, the 2 top players were the people that made the decision. Of course, because we all said last week that that's pretty much LeBron's team.
Yeah.
And what's her name? What's the bus lady?
Jeannie Buss.
She's going to go. She's got to make her players happy. She's making her players.
Well, it's a players' league.
And she has to go by, and LeBron is running it. So she's going by what LeBron is probably telling her. You know, but I got a lot of mixed emotions about it. What was Kobe's agent name? What was his name?
Rod Pelinka. He's the
Don't you kind of think that he's kind of played out his role there?
I don't think he should have had the role. To be honest,
because Jenny loved Kobe so much, so she gave him the role. And that was too much power for him to have.
Pelinka never had any history. He didn't ever have it.
He just had Kobe.
You can't look at his resume and say, I was the president of the Milwaukee Bucks, or I was the president of the Detroit team, or He don't have. He was an agent.
I know
That's all he was an agent. He negotiated with presidents and general managers. So I never thought he deserved
that position
that
at all.
position.
So he had the final say on Darvin leaving, I'm sure. After LeBron and maybe Anthony and them.
Well, there has been rumbles around the NBA that says that Anthony Davis made a comment on air where he said that in the fourth quarter of a game, I think it was game
should have called a
3.
timeout or something.
No, what he said was that that the team didn't know what they were doing. He said that I'm gonna quote him.
Paraphrase it.
Paraphrase. He said that the team basically did not know what they were doing. So
that lies back on the coach.
Yeah, that's what comes in the coach. And then you go back to LeBron James. LeBron was angry or upset. I won't say he's angry. I'll say he was upset with the fact that there was a call where it was an out of bounds play, and they said that LeBron touched the ball. LeBron didn't touch the ball. And he got angry and he just threw a tantrum right there in front of the bench, in front of Darvin Ham and the whole bench squad. So it's rumors that kind of bent him the wrong way. Now, did that make him a scapegoat for Devin Ham? I don't know. I'm not sure. But what I can say is that I kind of feel for Devin Ham. I really do.
I feel. Look. I watched the game, and me and Kim watched the game, and I used to make comments that sometimes he looked clueless, man. Yeah. His facial expressions, it were almost like he was clueless. He was waiting on his next command. He might as well have been like a football coach with the headset on. You know, the football coach is on the side. He's getting the sign from the box, who to play, who not to play. It's almost like Darvin Ham had that look on his face every game. And I used to tell her, I said, and I didn't want to wish him, but it seemed like he was clueless all the time. You know, we've been blessed, man, to see coaches like Pat Riley, Phil Johnson, Jackson. And that's what we think about. There's other coaches in the NBA.
It's funny you would say that because on my way here today, it's funny. This is the thought I had. And back in the day, like when I say back in the day, I mean pre-90s. Let's say 90s.
Okay.
Before that, around 90s, early 2000.
Okay.
Coaches on basketball teams would be in suits or sports jackets.
Back in the 80s.
With ties. Yeah, you know, and your Pat Rileys, your Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Your the guy that was over at Detroit when they won a couple of championships. Those guys had, you know, and I noticed today, coaches don't look that way.
No.
They just flat out.
They just have regular.
They're dressed down.
And maybe they do that on purpose. Maybe it was just too much because you in a suit, man, for a couple of hours, sweating and getting all crazy. You know, maybe I don't think that the league has a dress code.
Well, they did, and it's been tampered with as far as you know, the players' dress code. It used to be that they came to the arena.
They had the suits on.
But now today
they come in anyway, man.
Yeah, they come in gear
with all type of crazy styles, man.
So if you're gonna let them do it, you gotta let the coach do
it. And so the majority of the time, though, the players are making more than the coaches, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, tremendous amount. Yeah. So then you got millionaires on the court.
Exactly.
You got multi-millionaires and some when they got endorsement deals. So a lot of these people are multi-millionaires.
Right.
Nobody gets $1 million contract anymore, not unless you riding the bench. Maybe.
What, basketball?
Yeah.
Everybody on the basketball teams are millionaires.
Just 1 million. Just 1 million. The majority, I think, are getting. So if you got 2 million, you're considered a multi-millionaire, right? If you make more than one, a millionaire is one. If you got 2 or 3 more million,
it's kind of okay. Most of the players in the NBA today
or multi-millionaire.
Most of them make over $1 million.
Or so they do have bench riders making 100,000.
You got more. They don't make 100,000 no more. You got bench ride players that make $5 million.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So you dealing with the power struggle too.
Well, I said earlier that this is basketball is
a players' league.
Players' league. So you have to take care of them. You have to satisfy them. Whatever goes on, you got to satisfy the ball players.
Right.
Coaches are, you got a few coaches that make a lot of money. Doc Rivers, the kid over there at
Miami.
You got a few of them, but not all of them are making that kind of money. You got some new kids on the block. This kid over at Utah, I don't even know his name. I mean, not Utah, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name, but I think he was named Coach of the Year. They're going to have to pay him now. And I know he came in.
All these coaches, but the coaches aren't making millions, or except for a couple of people you just said,
and a few guys, they're making millions.
Right, but the majority of coaches are making 100,000s plus. Okay,
exactly.
And again, you're dealing with players. It's a players' league. You get 3-4 players don't like a coach, it's a done deal.
Yeah, for the most part.
They complain to the owner or general manager.
Yes.
But I think Pelinka, man,
they leave their game on the bench. They don't play. They don't put out like they need to, and they start squawking. They can do it. They can do a lot of things to harm a coach.
Well, to me, man, let's move on from it. But I just want to say, man, that Darvin seemed clueless majority of the times. If you go back, if you look over the past 2 seasons, he's been with the Lakers. If you look at his facial expressions and just do an excerpt of and put all his facial expressions, it's like he don't know what the hell is going on. I hate to say that about him.
Right, I'm gonna go on the record and say this, and then we're gonna go to another subject.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on the record. I was not a fan of hiring Darvin Ham in the first place because he didn't have the experience.
Was he just LeBron's pick?
No,
to get on
he wasn't LeBron's pick. I don't believe he was LeBron's pick. Let me not say that.
Because he seemed like he was LeBron's boy.
He was playing. He was the coach of the Milwaukee. He was the assistant coach with the Milwaukee Bucks, and they had won a championship. So I think what happened was he was such a glorified cheer. This is just my opinion.
Yeah,
he was such a glorified cheerleader.
Give him a chance.
Yeah, give him a shot at And I wasn't really that enthusiastic about him coming over to the Lakers. But having said that, seeing the job that he did with what he had,
it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad at all.
I thought it was I don't know, man. I think they called a gun too. I think they just need to switch up the players. I think they should at least give him another 2 years. Now, if you hadn't brung the team to the playoffs, maybe it'll be you can make sense of it. But he brought them to the playoffs. Like I said, there's a lot of teams that have went to the playoffs, bro, but didn't win the championship.
But you're playing in Los Angeles.
So it's more political.
LA
they want championships.
They want championships. And
they got to point the finger.
And they don't want to barely make it to the playoffs. They want to be in the playoffs. They want to be in the first or the second.
I'm going to personally tell you what I think happened.
Spoiled. They're spoiled.
They got spoiled. Let me tell you what happened. Denver whooped that ass so much, man. Denver made you look at what the hell? The Lakers couldn't do nothing. They were They did what they could do. But just like in boxing, it's like somebody always got your call.
Yeah, I agree.
They were playing. I mean, Lakers, I always said, me and Lady Z talked about it. I said, Lady Z, they can't. I said it's something about Denver. They can't whoop Denver.
They couldn't.
And they haven't. Have they even beat Denver in the last 2 seasons? I don't even think they lost to Denver.
They had an 11-game losing streak.
game losing
The last time they beat Denver was when
The other coach was probably in there. Yeah.
The coach of the Phoenix
Right.
when they beat Denver in order for them
Was
to go to the championship.
was Jokic there when the other coach was there? Mary was there too.
Oh, he was there too.
See, that says a lot too. You know, they're like, did we make a mistake with the
But
last?
the Lakers had a monster squad then, for the most part.
Yeah, and they got rid of everybody.
They got rid of everybody except Anthony Davis and LeBron James.
They got rid of everybody because I turned on the season because I'm not a follower like you, bro. You were glued into sports. Yeah. So I didn't know that these players got traded, man, till I started seeing the other game. I'm like, what the hell?
It's a lot of ex-Lakers.
It's a lot of ex-Lakers, and they have a gripe.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk this. We got a big fight coming up, bro. We got the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight that's coming up. What are your views on this? Yeah, everybody's putting Mike Tyson's age into play, but they're putting Jake Paul's hungriness into play. Now, I've seen training. They've had training promos on Mike, and Mike still looks like a beast. He is a beast, but again, you know, when you're doing video stuff, you can edit stuff, you can do all that much stuff. What do you think about that fight, and what do you foresee what's going to happen? What is the end game on that fight?
Well, first of all, the driving force behind this fight is money.
It's money, yeah.
First of all, it's money. Second thing is Mike Tyson's age. That does come into play. He's close to 60 years old. If he's not 60.
He's about 55 to 60. 55 to 60 range.
The second thing is this kid Paul doesn't have a lot of experience as far as fighting. He's fought a few basketball players. He fought a few MMA fighters and stuff like that, and he's been successful. But he hasn't fought anyone with the likes of a Mike Tyson. So that's what makes this
balanced.
Right. Now it kind of makes it kind of like, okay, let's see what's going to happen here. Now, my opinion as far as this fight is concerned is I've seen the clips of Mike Tyson hitting the bag
and all that.
So forth and so on. But what I basically need to say is bags don't hit back.
Okay. Okay, Bruce Lee. Bricks don't hit back.
Yeah, they don't hit
back. Now go ahead, bro.
So we got to see what do you have left in the tank to the point to where you can go out there in the ring and fought and you haven't fought. Well, he fought maybe last year. He fought Roy Jones, and that was, I think it was a draw. I think it was like that.
That wasn't that, man.
But anyway, this kid Paul, if he's able to stay away from Mike Tyson for a considerable amount of time during a fight. I don't know what the rules are. Usually the basic rules are three minutes a round. If he can stay away from Mike Tyson for say 4, maybe 5 rounds, wear him down, he got a shot. He's got a shot. Maybe more than 4 or 5 rounds, maybe 5 or 6. Now, if that happens, he got a shot. Now, if he does not able to do that, and he gets hit by one of those shots that might be hitting on that bag,
it could be a wrap, or it'll definitely make a difference in the fight.
Yeah, you're not going to survive. I don't know. There's not been a lot of heavyweights that hit as hard
as Mike Tyson. And they did something on his power punch.
Yeah.
And they was talking about how powerful his punch is. But again, Mike is 58.
Okay.
Mike is 58. So, and the fight is going to take place July 20th. Yeah. I say the same thing. The only thing Jake Paul can do as a strategy is wear Mike down and try to run. Whatever you want to call it, you don't want to call it run. Or don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
Don't get hit.
And that's going to be, that's a ring.
And
you can't say, stop, or nothing like that. You can't jump outside the ring. So if you can manage to get footwork together so you can stay away from Mike Tyson for the whole fight, you got a shot. You got
Yeah,
a shot.
if you can do that, but Mike has dealt with people running away. Again, you think about I'm trying to come into play his age and but Jake Paul's strategy, what his coaching team is telling him,
Yeah.
what you need to do, stick and move.
You need to get out
Stick
of his
and
way.
move. Do not stay because
stay
Mike
anywhere where you're gonna get hit.
Mike has experience, and Mike was originally a brawler anyway. So,
Yeah.
but
Mike's from the neighborhood.
he's from the neighborhood.
You know,
He from
ain't
the
nothing to
bricks.
play with.
He from the bricks,
Yeah.
man. So you never told me what is your prediction for that fight. I won't do you like a pool player. Like I'm gonna hit you, the 8 ball and this, and this whatever. Tell me what round do you want to be like Muhammad Ali? Tell me what round do you think this fight is going to go, or is it going to go the total distance? And who do you have as the favorite?
I got Mike as the favorite. I think it probably will last 4 rounds.
4 rounds, really?
Yeah. Something's got to happen within that 4 rounds. I think Mike will probably take him out. I don't know what Mike's physical, like Paul,
he's a more spiritual guy now.
Well, what I mean by physical, what I mean is like, does he? Now it's a long. You haven't fought in a long time. Do you?
His last fight was Roy Jones, 2020.
Do you cut easy? Can this kid Paul cut you? Can he? Can he hit
That's
you?
Mike Tyson, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if Mike gets cut, they're gonna stop the fight.
You think?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're not going to let a 58-year-old man stay in a fight. And
Mike's not an average 58-year-old man.
Yeah, but you're not going to let him stay in there and get retina damage.
I don't know. That's a good question, man. That's I would hope that it wouldn't go because Mike is not an average 58. Now you and me fighting him. Stop. Right. I quit.
Yeah, you're right.
It's over.
He's
not an average guy.
No, he's not.
You probably got some 20-year-old people like, nah, I ain't fucking with no goddamn Mike Tyson.
No, most people
I ain't dealing with no Mike.
Most people in their right mind.
Most people
not get in the ring.
And if you didn't come from the generation, a lot of the youngsters didn't see Mike in his heyday. No. They just going by video. Right. But if you go by video and see that this dude was really not really ever, the Buster Douglas thing did it. Yeah. And then he bit Evander Holyfield's ear off, and then it pretty much went down. Then he was dubbed as a crazy dude after that.
Right.
And then now he's like America's in love with Mike Tyson again.
Right.
He did the one-man stand-up thing on Play
HBO,
thing he did.
Yeah.
And that was pretty good. I watched it. So he's like America's darling at this point.
Yeah.
So either way, I think people love Mike Tyson now. This is like Muhammad Ali was. A lot of people didn't like Muhammad Ali in his heyday, exactly. But then we got older, everybody started loving him. Just like George Foreman, but they kind of always loved George Foreman because he was going against the big mouth Muhammad Ali.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they love him now. So those are some pretty good points. Right. So you favoring?
I favor Mike. I believe that Mike's not going to let him. You can run, but you can't hide. It'll be very difficult to run from Mike, even at 58.
Because he knows the game.
Yeah, he's got great crafty footwork himself. He's a bad boy himself. So.
Okay.
You're gonna have to really do something spectacular to stay away from this guy for the whole fight. Okay,
got you. So, on the sports thing, man, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of boxing fights. There's a lot of fights going on. Is there anything? Now we were talking about Brittany Griner earlier.
Right.
Now Brittany has not been out of the news ever since they released her. I think she did she just married.
She just did an interview on MSNBC.
NBC.
Yeah, with Joy Reid.
Yeah. And she talked about the 10-month attainment.
She talked about the detainment. She talked about her feelings. She talked about, you know, which goes along with the ball game as far as suicide. She thought about it.
I'm sure she did.
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine.
You know,
She thought she said a lot of things in that interview. She
talked about being gay.
She
You
talked
know,
about that.
And I think, do they have a baby now, or did they just?
I think her wife is expecting the baby.
Okay. But she's a success story, man. I like to hear stories about that. You know, now the situation which caused her to go to be detained in Russia. You remember what? Now, what do you think? Now I think about that. You know, because she was already a great player, but I mean, the reason why you went to jail. Now you know better.
Well, it's not like the United States of America does not tell those players, this is not, you're going over to USSR, Russia. You're going to Russia.
Yeah.
The same rules in Russia don't apply in the United States
or anywhere else in the world.
Exactly. So you can't you can't bring marijuana
and then use your type of rationale.
Yeah, and think that they just gonna look over it, because they're not. They're not gonna look over it. They showed you that they're not. They put you in jail for 10 months.
Yeah, that's what they did.
And then they sweated. They had to sweat to get her back.
Yeah.
You know, it took a lot.
It really took a lot, man. It took a lot, but how do you see her season coming up here, man? You know.
Well, she played last year.
Right.
She was very mediocre last year.
Well, because think about all the stress, everything that she had to get back into play. She should be rejuvenated.
She's playing on a team at that time last year. She played on a team
Phoenix.
of older players that were on their way out. Diana Taurasi, who was the mainstay of the Phoenix team, and she just retired. She's like, I'm not playing anymore.
Okay.
You know, she's been in the league for a lot. A lot of people consider her the GOAT. I'm not one of them, but okay. They consider her as the GOAT of the WNBA.
So they're going to make comparisons. Now, where did Caitlin Clark go to? What team?
She went to the Indiana team.
All right. So the money makers, the people that's filling up the seats, I'm going to say Brittany Griner is going to help fill up them seats. People still want to see her play, and because of everything that's happened in the past, and Caitlin Clark. I think there's two. Now you have other people that'll bring something, and I know we're going full circle because we started with the WNBA, this whole conversation.
Yeah.
But I want them to succeed as a league. I want them to, I think there's going to be more.
Well, Caitlin Clark is going to definitely put behinds in the seats. She's definitely, I saw her first game. She's played one game.
Okay.
Last week, she played a preseason game. She did very well for her first game in the league. Now, this isn't all the starters. This isn't the big girls that's going to be, but for the most part, you had a nice little mixture of starters and bench players. Okay. She did well. She scored, I want to say, 21 points.
That's damn good.
She showed that she can shoot the ball. It doesn't matter if it's in the gym in Idaho or a gym in Los Angeles. A gym is a gym. She can shoot the ball. She shoots the ball from distance. She shoots from Steph Curry range.
Mm-hmm.
Bottom line, she shoots.
Is she the best player on that team?
She probably will become the best player. She's not the best player now.
Does she know her place on that team?
She seems like she does. She seems like she does know. She seems like she's coming in, and she seems like she's, because I've heard her talk. She sounds like she's ready to be a part of a team. She's got an edge, kind of got an edge on her. You know what I mean? She ain't coming in like, like this prima donna. She's got an edge. She's got somewhat of an edge on her, and she probably shouldn't lose that edge.
Okay.
Because if you lose the edge, then you lose your game.
Right.
So she's got a little, chip on her shoulder. She's gonna come in. She's gonna shoot the ball. She's gonna play her game. She's got a few players on her team that look like they're gonna be very good. Also,
Okay.
Indiana had the #1 draft choice in 2024. They also had it in 2023.
So they got a pretty nice squad.
They got a young lady. I can't call her name right now, but she played for South Carolina last year.
Okay.
Not the year this year that they won. Last year, and that young lady was, I think, college player of the year, something like that. She was up there. She's a good ball player. So they're gonna play together, and they're gonna collaborate. And that Indiana team, which has not been good for a while,
I hadn't even heard of him. I'm gonna tell you, that's the guy.
Well, they've won a championship.
It has been the last 2 years.
No,
because Las Vegas has won last 2 years. So I'm not familiar.
No, they had a good team. Let's say 6-7 years ago.
Right. And I was not watching WNBA 6-7 years ago.
They had a good team. The girl that played on their team, her name is escaping me right now.
Okay.
But she was a very good basketball player. She's since retired. She's not playing anymore, but she was a very good basketball player. And here's a tidbit about that young lady.
Go ahead, bro.
She grew up in Italy, pretty much like LeBron.
You can't get him out your mind, can you?
Kobe Bryant. She knew Kobe. They knew each other as children.
Oh wow.
So
they came up with the ranks together,
right,
kind of like.
Right. I think she was a little younger than Kobe, but not much.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she knew Kobe and she balled with Kobe. And
well, that's something average person can't say.
No, you can't.
And you balling.
Her father, I almost said her name. Her last name is Catchings. I can't call her first name. Tamika Catchings. Okay. Tamika's father played in the NBA.
Okay.
Kobe's father played in the NBA.
Right.
They both weren't capable of playing in the NBA anymore, so they ended up being bench players. So they ended up moving to Italy and France, Germany, and playing over there overseas. Okay. So they were still valuable over there. That's how the connection between Tamika Catchings' father
and Kobe's
and Joe Bryant.
Oh, okay,
Kobe's father. That's how they became friends, and this is my daughter, so they just kind of grew up together.
Okay, now we got the last 10 minutes of the show, bro. Last 10 minutes of the show. I want you to talk about how you feel about the commentators, man, sports commentators. Do you think that they're more emotional than stating facts and stats? Because you herald with the stats and the facts. All right, the like commentators like Shannon Sharp and
Shannon Sharp's not actually.
He's kind of took a backseat, and Stephen A.
Stephen A's a commentator.
But Shannon still does. I mean, he's doing his lounge thing now, but he's still he was with First Take for a long time with the other dude right there. But how do you feel about the state of commentators, man, and how they're covering sports as a whole? Do you think they're more like playing to, it's more, I don't know, more sensationalized than actual? Do you want to hear more stats, facts, or you want to hear the comedy, all the entertainment dealing with that?
Let me first give my statement and saying that I grew up listening to two of the best that ever did it.
Howard Cosell?
No.
Ah!
Howard Cosell was nice.
Okay.
Very good. But I grew up listening to Vin Scully, who was the Dodgers commentator, and Chick Hearns.
Okay.
Two of the best that ever did it. Baseball, and I love baseball and I love basketball. So I listened to them. They weren't what they call homers, meaning, like if you were hired by the Lakers, the only people you're going to talk about is the Lakers. You're not going to talk about the Houston Rockets because And if you do talk about them, you're gonna say something negative. You ain't gonna say anything. You're not gonna give them even airtime. So I'm saying that to say a lot of the commentators today
Mm-hmm.
aren't, they're homers. Whoever hires them, that's where, and then you got the ones that are on national television.
Yeah. Sports Center number one.
Sports Center, Fox.
Mm-hmm.
They are, a lot of them are opinionated. They have a lot
Pundits.
of opinion.
Pundits.
Yeah. They have a lot of stuff to say
where it's not really needed.
Right.
It's your opinion, and they start arguing against. I mean, that's good for ratings.
Yeah. Well, if that's what you want to hear. If that's what you want to hear. If you want to hear that kind of stuff, fine. I'm not a big Stephen A. fan, except now and then I like listening.
Something he says.
Some things he says, but sometimes he goes off the rail.
And puts a lot of his opinion in
his own stuff in there.
Because he got a lot of political satire that he does.
I'm not that much of a fan.
And you don't want to hear that on the sports show.
I'm not that much of a fan because I listen to him sometimes too much.
Well, he's the darling of ESPN.
Yeah.
He's actually, I think Stephen A. is probably the top. Would you say he's the top commentator?
Of course.
He's probably number one.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah, he's the big dog. He's the big dog at ESPN. And ESPN has monopolized for the most part.
They bought out everybody.
They got everybody. They got ABC.
Yeah.
And
they don't have TNT though.
Pretty much, yeah.
They're kind of with them.
Yeah. A lot of their commentators come over, and they share.
And they kind of share because you're right. Shaq does the TNT show, then he does the stuff on
ESPN. Then you got NBA TV.
Yeah.
So a lot of them go back and forth. They got ABC, which is the big boy.
Okay.
Disney owns ABC.
Okay.
So they have everything.
Okay.
So you get a lot of opinionated people, in that crew. Fox is on the come up. They on their way up. They trying to compete with ESPN and NBA TV and so forth and so on. And they, for the most part, they do. They have some.
I mean, if you're a sports guy, you're gonna be switching channels anyway.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, okay, what's on right now? What's right?
Fox doing?
What are they talking about? And if they're holding the same opinion, have you ever looked at all three or all of the networks, all of their shows, and see if they're saying the same thing? Are they on one accord about players? Or do you see a difference of it?
No, there's always
difference. So that means that one person doesn't own everything.
No, that's true.
So as long as you got the difference of opinions, like I said, with Caitlin Clark, you might have an opinion on ESPN, and Fox might have a different thing, and TNT might have a different thing.
The big thing with Caitlin Clark is that you got a lot of ball players, men, who seem to believe, it seems like it's a universal feeling, seem to believe that Caitlin is not going to be able to dominate
the league,
the WNBA like she did in college.
Well, I guess we're gonna see, man, because
we are.
Like you said, now is the WNBA, is that a players' league as well, or that's more management owned because they don't have the status as NBA.
They don't
players.
have the NBA.
They don't have that much power.
No,
and they're not making as much money as they are. So the coaches in the WNBA is probably making just about the same as the players,
if not less.
Okay,
a lot less. They're not, because the WNBA players aren't making that much money. They're not. I have to chime in on. I made a statement last week. Somebody corrected me, and they were absolutely right. I said that the WNBA plays 32 games.
How many games do they play?
They play 40, but they just start doing that. I didn't realize that. They started last year, and they did it this year. So they've been playing 40 games for the last 2 years.
Okay.
And the guy that put me up on it, I respect him.
Okay.
That he told me that. He's like, Harold, they play Fortnite. I'm like, okay.
Do you have, okay, we're about to come to the close of the show,
Okay.
bro. Do you want to speak to anybody, man? Is there anybody online you want to say something to?
Speak to him. Vance McCoy. He's on there. He's on my Facebook. Van, how you doing, man? You and I go back and forth a lot. Might get you on this show.
There you go. He's local?
Yeah, he's local. He's
okay.
Here. Good guy.
Okay.
And he's very opinion. He's got a
Bring
real strong opinion.
I want a little back and forth, man.
That might work. That might work. I'll talk to him about it. I see him every Saturday.
Okay. Anybody else you want to say?
Cynthia Watley, she absolutely loves LeBron James. Okay.
I love him too.
Oh God, well y'all are two peas in a pot.
We ain't the only ones. I follow LeBron, man. I follow LeBron from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland to LA. And that's when I really became a LA fan. You got to know, man, I'm a Midwest guy. I'm from St. Louis. So we didn't have a team. Man. So when I came out here, I was like, what's up with all this Laker talk? Because Kobe was still playing. Since I've been out here, he played. But LeBron, I said, well, I fell in love with the Lakers when LeBron came out here. I said, okay, I understand the culture. But
one day we'll sit down and we'll talk about that. That's fine. And then I have one other person looking, Emma Jean. Hey. Yeah. Hey, Emma Jean, how you doing? I've known Emma Jean forever.
Okay.
I didn't know she was interested in sports.
But because the person.
Oh, that's
you the vessel.
Okay.
You the vessel.
She's good people though. I know that much.
Okay.
And I'm glad she chimed in. I'm glad she came on, and hopefully she'll come on again.
Okay, and just tell them, man, how to reach you, bro, and where your show is. Tell the people.
In order for you to get on. To see this show live would be Mo Rock Entertainment.
It's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube channel. You go on there, and then
it'll prompt you.
They'll prompt you to subscribe.
Yeah.
And
but you don't need to subscribe to get on and see you though. All you got to do is get on the channel.
Okay. Mo Rock Entertainment.
Mo Rock Entertainment. ROC.
/
or just entertainment.
Space entertainment.
There you go, man. And they can see you every Wednesday, usually from 5 to 5:30. We were kind of running a little late today, but and they can also check it again after it's rerun, after it's recorded. They'll be able to go on YouTube and look at the Undeniably Sports Talk with Harold White. So tell them, man. Tell them how they can reach you, man, on Facebook.
Everybody knows they can reach me on. I got 1 million people on Facebook. You can reach me on Facebook. I'm on
Instagram.
That's all I'm on. Really.
What's your handle on Instagram?
Harold White, lower caps 33.
Okay, because what we're going to do probably in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be streaming from Instagram as well.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, so we're going to have Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Okay. All right, man. So another great show, man. This is your episode 2, bro. Right. So congratulations, man. We got some more to talk about next week.
Yeah, we do.
Doing your thing, man. So signing out, you want to say some words of encouragement, bro?
No, I'll see everybody. I'll probably talk to a few people that watch the show, and any information that you have that you want to talk about with me, feel free to do so. You know me. You know how I am. Sometimes I'm opinionated too. So.
You're supposed to be, man.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a podcast without that, man.
Right. So thanks for everybody showing up, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
That did go well without